Okay, so this is how we start each meal, and this happens to be breakfast time. But in this meal, I'm going to show you how I mix it up and everything, but what is going to be included, what I'm going to give him first is, so I'm going to give him a Benadryl, and the reason I do that, that's one every 8 hours, and that is because that slows the spread of the mast cell tumor, and the cancer tends to want to spread via histamines, and that's an antihistamine. So I don't know the whole science behind it, but it seems to be helping slow the growth of his mast cell. And then I give him, these are 500 milligram turmeric capsules, and I give him 1,000 milligrams twice a day. Here you got the omega-3 fish oil, which cancer absolutely hates. So I give him one of these twice a day. So one with breakfast, once with dinner. And then the coconut oil, which I put on the mast cell tumor that he's got on his side externally. I wipe that on there twice a day, rub it in. And then I give him about a little, he's over 100 pounds, so I give him a little bit more than a teaspoon of that mixed in with his food. And then I also add a dropper full of milk thistle, liquid milk thistle. You can use the capsules as well. Why is this not focusing? There it is, milk thistle. You know, you can use the capsules. I prefer the liquid. Either way, that's a good thing to use when you're fighting any kind of cancer with your dog. So let's move on to the preparation. Okay, so here we got some broccoli, and I'm holding the phone with one hand, but I'm going to put it down and I'm going to break it up and show you how I make it smaller so it's easier for him to digest. So I break it up about that size, just pull it apart with your hands, and then I add the spinach. Okay, so here I got the spinach, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to put the phone down and I'm going to shred this so that it's a lot smaller, and then I'm going to mix it up with the broccoli, and you'll see how that looks in a second. I wish I had a way to hold the phone, but trust me, I'm just going to use both hands to shred that up. Okay, and so that's what we have, and it doesn't have to be shredded really small, just smaller than it comes out, so that it's easier to manage. Alright, so now I'm going to add some green beans. Now I'm going to mix these up too. Now, of course, I preferred to boil fresh green beans and take off the stems and everything, but that's not always possible, and you may not be able to do that because of time or whatever. So these are canned green beans, and they're a good fallback. I don't have a problem with it. He's been eating these green beans for a long time, and I'm going to mix all that up in there. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking to yourself, my dog would never eat this, but I'm going to show you a trick that's going to make your dog, no matter what he thinks of vegetables, your dog's going to eat every bit of this. Just trust me on that. He is going to love this. Okay, so now, next I'm going to add hamburger, raw hamburger. I prefer boiled chicken, but he goes through that so fast that I'm out of it. So when I'm out of boiled chicken, and it's good to give them, at first I was skeptical, but all of the people, or the majority of folks that are fighting cancer with dogs that know what they're talking about, they make a good point about the dog's body and how it's connected to the wolves, and you never see videos of wolves killing a rabbit and then building a fire and cooking it. So raw meat is good. Cancer doesn't like fat and this kind of protein, so raw hamburger it is. And now I'm going to add that. So I got the raw hamburger in there. If you really wanted to, and if it freaked you out to give your dog raw hamburger like it did me at first, I suppose you could cook it up a little bit, but I will tell you that he loves it. I was surprised the first time I gave it to him. He looked like I fed him a turd, the expression on his face, but now he absolutely loves it. So it's good for him. It's bad for cancer, so he's getting it. And I just mix it all up in there. And don't worry, that's not the trick. I'm going to show you the trick that's going to get your dog to just completely devour this meal. But first I've got to give Charlie all his pills. Now he's not someone that likes to take pills easily, so I'm going to show you how I deal with that. Okay, so if I give Charlie pills, you know, if I try to hide them in their big ones like this turmeric, he spits them out. He's good at finding them. Now I used to wrap them, like just cover them in peanut butter, but because Cancer absolutely loves sugar and carbohydrates, I stay away from the peanut butter now, and I use the raw hamburger. Now you can use the chicken, you know, the boiled chicken. I press it in this hamburger, and there is no way he's going to find that because he gulps down this raw hamburger like he's a wolf that just killed a deer. Here, want this? See? He just takes it. Now ordinarily you'd see him spitting out that pill, but he just gulps it right down like a good little patient. And so I'll just go through it, you know. Same with this Benadryl. So first let me give him this one here. Hang on a second. There we go. He's a good boy. Okay, now I'm gonna give him his Benadryl. Get in there. You don't need as much with the Benadryl. It's really hard doing this one-handed. Now, I'm gonna give him this, and then I'm gonna show you something else. Let me finish up with this turmeric. I'll be right back. And I forgot to tell you that I also, because I keep in the refrigerator, so I forgot to show it to you, but I also include a probiotic here. And there's the probiotic capsule, so I'll give it to him the same way I gave him the turmeric. Okay, so now here comes the milk thistle, 1 dropper. That looks like a half a dropper. I just drop it in the food there. Let me get my other half. And I'll mix that up in a second. Next will come the coconut oil. So the coconut oil is pretty, you know, it's only oil when you first get it. Once you open it and it hits air, it gets pretty thick. So, you know, when you first give your dog coconut oil, he or she's going to get diarrhea probably. That little one right there, when he gets coconut oil, when he first got it, oh my God, he was like spraying. But, you know, Charlie got it for like about 2 or 3 days until he gets used to it. And now all dogs, and this is a lot, but remember, he's like over 100 pounds. All dogs absolutely love coconut oil. Don't ask me why, and it's absolutely beautiful. Cancer hates it. The other thing, and this will be hard to film, but I use this externally on his mast cell tumor. Come here, Charlie. Let me get your owie. Let me get your owie. Where is it? Come here. Wait, Charlie. Let me get your owie. Where'd it go? Where are you? There you are. I feel you. I did dig through all the fur. Try to expose it because, you know, Charlie's a golden retriever, so he's covered in fur. Hang on a second. There it is. So I rub it directly onto his mast cell tumor, and then he has a little thing where when I'm done rubbing it, he gets to lick the coconut oil off my fingers, and you can see there's the tumor right there, all red and nasty. And then Charlie can't wait for this part because he loves coconut oil, and coconut oil is great. It's a Cancer hates it, and it's been known to reduce tumors, and it's just everything about it is good. I mean, it's good for people too. So if you don't know about coconut oil, you should look into it. All right, now I'm going to show you the final trick that's going to get your dog to love this mess here. And just give me a second to wipe my hands off. Okay, now remember when I told you that I prefer to boil chicken? Well, boiled chicken is good for many reasons, but one of the best reasons is you end up with the chicken broth, which is this. So I put it in the microwave just for like a minute, because, you know, when you put it in the fridge, it gets hard. That's already been in the microwave for a little bit, so I'm just finishing it up here just to show you why these two guys wait for their breakfast. You're waiting for yours, you're waiting for yours, you're getting frustrated. Hang on a second. So you take this broth, and now you could put this chicken broth that you got from saving the juice from your boiled chicken, you could put it over rocks and your dog would love it. So I just put this over his food, and he will gobble up every bit of that because that's how dogs are. They love chicken broth. You'll see. And here he is, and he is going to enjoy all those vegetables. So there he is, and you're going to see that he'll eat every single bit of that, and he eats way too fast. But I think the key is the chicken broth. if you use boiled chicken and you shred it really small, mix it up in there, it's better, I think. You know, I mean, if your dog's having trouble eating greens, you put boiled chicken in there, he'll love it. If you don't like the raw hamburger idea, I think you should research it though. I think it's good for your dog. Whether he has cancer or not, I think it's good for him. This is a good diet. And yeah, look at him go. And he'll lick that bowl sparkly clean. And I hope that helped you, and I hope it helps your dog. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or send me a message. Stay safe and good luck to your dog and you. And I just had to show you, that's his bowl right there. He got everything except one little piece there. See? He loves it. And your dog will too. Okay, so now let's go over the items that I've been giving Charlie. And just so you know, let me look at my calendar here real quick. Let's see, Charlie was given 2 weeks to 1 month to live on July 21st. And it is now August 11th. So on the 21st of this month, that'll be the 1 month. That's the far end that he was given. So I can tell you that he is completely asymptomatic. He has no symptoms at all, other than his lymph nodes, which in his neck, which, you know, depending on what time of day it is, sometimes they're big, sometimes they're small. Today's probably the smallest they've ever been since this whole thing started. You can barely feel them. So is this stuff saving his life? I have to believe it is, because literally he swims in the river every day, he has fun, he's energetic, very energetic, playful. So there's no particular order in what I'm getting ready to show you here. So let's start off with this. This is milk thistle. And if you've never heard of milk thistle, like I had never heard of it before this, well, I guess I'd heard of it, but I never knew what it did or didn't do. It's basically a liver cleanser, or cleanser, I'm going to edit that. Milk thistle is basically a liver cleanser. And in the morning when I give him his breakfast, I give him one of these. And then I give him another one with his evening dinner. Because I'm a guy that believes if some is good, more is better, I also include with that liquid milk thistle. And what I do is I take one full dropper here, I suck it up and mix it into his dinner. He doesn't seem to mind the taste. And you can see the cost here on this one is $13.99. So let me put these things over here. All right. Fish oil, omega-3. In the books that I've read, and in all the material that I've read about cancer in general and lymphoma specifically, cancer absolutely hates fish oil. Cancer hates fats. Cancer loves carbohydrates, so you want to stay away from the carbohydrates and sugars. But fish oil is good. It's good for you and I, and it's not expensive. And so it's definitely one that is easy to include. And what I do is I give him one of those pills in the morning, and I give him one in the afternoon and one at night. Now this is arguably the most important ingredient here. And I made a video a while ago about this, and I don't want to make this video too long, but I think it's pretty well known that turmeric is a very good cancer preventative. What is less known, and again, I'm not an expert, I'm not a vet, I'm not a doctor, but from my sources in the scientific community, of which I have one, turmeric has actually been known to reverse cancer in laboratory animals. Of course, the large pharma companies are not going to endorse something like this because you make a lot more money. Let's be honest, you make a lot more money treating cancer than you do curing it. So this is actually something that I take 1,000 milligrams a day. This is a 500 milligram capsule, and I have such faith in it. I give Charlie 4 of these every morning. That's 2,000 milligrams. You can't really overdo it, as far as I know, with turmeric. So I give him 2,000 milligrams in the morning, and I give him 2,000 milligrams at night. And sometimes in the midday snack, I'll throw in another one, because it seems like the more turmeric I give to him, the smaller his lymph nodes in his neck get. I can't say enough about this. This is good stuff for you too as well. This is a good cancer preventative. You should be taking at least 1 to 2,000 milligrams a day, in my humble, non-medical opinion. Probiotic. This is the one I use. Probably doesn't matter what kind you use. I keep this refrigerated because these are living cultures with, what is there? There's 20 billion live probiotic cultures in each one of these capsules. And I give him one of those each day. And I take one as well. What that does is it helps the this, and I'm using layman's terms here, I'm no doctor, but it helps the stomach be able to fight infection in the stomach, and there's another word for it, but I just woke up. It basically builds up the immune system in the digestive tract for the dog. And remember, the idea is to make the dog's body and natural defense systems as strong as possible so that they can fight off the lymphoma or the cancer that's trying to kill your dog. Before this all started, I didn't know there was such a thing as coconut oil, but now that I've read everything there is to read and talked to so many experts, I realize that coconut oil is sort of like the end-all, be-all of everything in terms of health. You can use it for butter, blah, blah, blah. You may remember that Charlie has he's got 2 types of cancer. He's got lymphoma, and he's got a mast cell tumor on his side. That's very visible. Coconut oil has been known to shrink tumors directly. So what I do is I apply this topically to his mast cell tumor on his side. I rub it on him, and that, of course, it leaves him all greasy, and I got to bathe him more often because he starts to stink. But he loves it. He licks it off my fingers, and then I give him a teaspoon of this a day, and you can see the consistency of it. It's almost gone here, but you can see it's very greasy. So when I first gave this to him, and I was warned ahead of time this would happen, Charlie ended up with 2 days of diarrhea, but his body quickly adjusted to it. He loves it now. So what I do is I rub it on him in his externally on his tumor, once in the morning, once in the midday, and once at night. I give him a full teaspoon of this once a day. I mix it in with his dog food, whether it's his breakfast or his dinner, it doesn't really matter. And that is a great cancer fighter from the inside out. Now, the most expensive item that I use, and I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think it's Esiac. Now, you can look that up on the internet. That has just about every single thing known to fight cancer, and it's extremely effective if you read about the results from the experts. This bottle is $54.49, and I think it's got 60 capsules. So he has to take 3 of those in the morning, 3 in the evening. So you do the math. They don't last that long, but if you can afford it, this is a must. And if you have your own cancer issues, you should look into this as well. These are for humans. But This stuff has everything in it that you can imagine. I don't want to bore you, but it basically, a lot of it's a proprietary blend, but it's got sheep sorrel, slippery elm extract, Indian rhubarb extract, all kinds of things that the Native Americans and the Chinese have been using for years and years and years to fight different ailments. So basically, the other thing that's not included here is Benadryl. You may recall, if you've watched any of my other videos, that Charlie's initial vet visit was for the mast cell tumor that is on his side. Well, they had to stick a needle in there and draw some fluid out to verify that it was indeed a mast cell tumor. And the act of poking a hole in it can cause it to aggravate and inflame and spread the cancer itself. So in addition to the coconut oil I put on topically, I also give him 1 Benadryl every 8 hours. And that is to reduce the inflammation and slow the spread of that as I try to make my decision as to whether or not I want to put him through the surgery to remove that. I worry about that weakening his system and then allowing the lymphoma to take over. So I'm still fighting that fight in my head and talking to experts, and I got to make a decision here soon. But anyways, what you're looking at is this is what we deal with every day. It's not hard to do. If your dog's like mine, he'll spit anything out that even looks like a pill. So I got to be creative. I love to give Charlie turkey. I slice up turkey slices and I wrap these things. Each one in a hefty amount of turkey, and I know that this is supposed to be on an empty stomach, but what can you do? He's not going to take it. They also have this in a tea form too, so I mean, if you can, to me it seems more hassle to give him the liquid like that. I don't know how you would do it, maybe eyedropper or mix it in his food, but it probably disperses a lot better when it's in a liquid form. I opted for the capsules though. So that's it. I hope this made sense to you, and I really hope that if your dog is I assume your dog is having issues, and that's why you're watching this video. I wish you all the luck in the world. Stay calm, stay cool, and remember, all you can do is just fight the good fight. And in the end, all of us are going to die. It's really a matter of quality of life, not quantity. So I want to give Charlie the best life possible. I'll take the phone out here and show you that we're in my basement here where my medical lab is, and Charlie's just laying there looking as fat and lazy and healthy as ever. So's his brother, Buddy. So we're just hanging out here, and pretty soon we'll take him swimming. So that's that, and I wish you guys the best of luck. Take care.